Hello, this is Ryan and Jeremy from Amnesty Gaming, and we are going to be reviewing Dead Money for Fallout New Vegas.
Yep.
It's the first DLC of
The
Fallout.
NW. Oh, no, NV.
And so, anyway, as far as the review goes, I would say that it was a fairly decent DLC. It wasn't anything spectacular. It was kind of fairly boring, unfortunately. Some of the plus and negatives are, I would definitely say that outside of the gas bombs, it has good gunplay. The gas bombs throughout the game is quite terrible. You'll throw it and then you'll end up having to have it explode on an enemy, which isn't anything fun. It's not exactly the greatest. A negative would definitely be very few unique models and animations. Unfortunately, there aren't any animations as you play, if you play at all. There's one character called Christine. And she'll talk to you, and she'll just do this to signify
it's like
she's moving. It's not very good.
Yeah.
I know it's a DLC, so I maybe shouldn't critique it too much on that, but it is fairly annoying. But
Hi.
the one thing that really bothered me was the fact that there aren't many characters throughout to fight and whatnot. Another positive, for the time being, while it was developed, the graphics are mediocre. It's not terrible. It is fairly well, so I can't complain. Another negative would definitely be that it's too long. There's only 3 unique characters, which is Dean, Domino, Dog, and Christine. Unfortunately, 3 aren't necessary. There's too many fetch quests throughout.
Definitely.
I would definitely say if you removed Dog out of the picture, then it would not have been so bad.
Yeah,
But with him, it wasn't too fun. And another benefit of the game is that it does have some replay value, just like New Vegas and Fallout 3. There will be other alternate endings you can choose from and whatnot, so there is some replayability in terms of that. Another negative about the ending, though, is that it's a little bit confusing right at the end. Sometimes you won't figure it out right away, and you might have to look online to figure out how to do it. And then another positive is there are interesting references to Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas throughout the story, throughout all of Dead Money, so that's nice to have those little tidbits. Although I have to say the story was somewhat drab and lackluster. There wasn't much to it outside of you just go to this big casino that you have no idea about and you just perform some heist, and you don't know why you're really performing this heist, but you do it because some guy's telling you to because you got a bomb on your neck. The difficulty throughout the game was fairly well balanced. I didn't really like the stealth aspects of it. I play Fallout to play a non-stealthy game, to be honest. So with having that in there, it made it a little bit lame. There's not much memorable moments in the game up until the end, which makes it nice for the end if you get that far. But in the beginning, it's very painful. It's very hard to get past the villa because it's just very boring, and there's too many fetch quests.
Oh yeah.
Then unless you're seeking multiple endings, there's really not much to go back to Dead Money for. You really play it once, you get the ending, maybe you get 2 endings, and it just stops. There's not much to it. There's no reason to really replay and go through the pain again.
Yeah.
Although artistically it does depict a Spanish villa fairly well, so that is a very good standpoint towards it. It is somewhat fancy with the casino as well, so it does depict what it needs to depict fairly well. It does do a good job in that regards. But as far as my review goes throughout the entire game, I would definitely only give it a 6 out of 10. And the reason being, it's nothing special, it's nothing memorable. You will probably remember the end once you get to that point.
Oh yeah.
But again, really, the main point of this game is going to be the casino, and even then, it's not that memorable. Still have stealth aspects that really are painful, and there's many bugs throughout the game. So, if you aren't getting this for a bundle for New Vegas, if you're just buying this straight DLC, I really wouldn't recommend it. It's not too much fun. I would recommend some of the other DLC that they have out there.
Because there's 4 of them. We got Dead Money, Honest Hearts, Old World Blues, and
I believe that's it.
no, there's that Mississauga one.
Lonesome Road.
Yeah, no, Lonesome Road. Yeah, I can't wait for a Lonesome Road, but yeah. Dead Money, I have some positives and unfortunately lots of negatives. I got a positive where there's some action, like it's not too much and it's not too little. It's got that evenness. It's got some puzzle in it. like, you know, you got to move the holograms around to say, okay, protect this. Okay, go over here to protect this. Like, so that way you can, like, sneak around them, have all that, and stuff like that. I mean, they had some emotion in it, like, some things happened in the past, and, like, people were being trapped in the casino, like, it, like, kind of got that weird feeling inside, and it also had alternate endings, so you could, like, I mean, I wouldn't really recommend it, because the DLC was pretty bad, but they had alternate endings, so you could, like, go through them all and do them if you really wanted to. We did 3, but, yeah. And negatives are, same thing over and over. You're in a Spanish villa, you walk somewhere, it's the same thing. It's, like, literally square by square by square, with nothing but the same thing. There was barely any unique items. You couldn't bring any of your items, like, there was nothing, pretty much. All there was a police pistol, automatic rifle, the hollow rifle, some special knives, and so forth. I mean, it was a very slow start. You wake up and you're like, oh, okay, I have a collar on my neck. Let's go talk to this asshole in a cage, and yeah, it was full of bugs. Like, we had to restart Vegas 20 times. Like,
Many.
Yeah, we edited that all out, but yeah, I mean, it was bad. I mean, there was only 4 types of enemies. It's, like, I even included the bear trap. Like, there was, like, the ghosts, the Elijah guy, the bear traps, and the holograms. There was a feeling of being trapped. Like, not only were you trapped in the city by a collar, but there were parts of the city with clouds. And it's like, I'm stuck in a city, and yet parts of it, you can't do anything. So, yeah, you couldn't go back. Once you complete it, you're done. You have to go from where you literally walked in and started the quest. That was a pain in the ass. He was like the most buggy person. Like, he'd like say, I'm hungry, and you'd say, okay, how about you ate like 5 ghost people? He's like, oh no, I don't like them. And then you'd like walk around the whole damn city, and then you'd be like, oh, okay, what do you want? And he's like, I want ghosts. And I'm like, what the hell? Sorry. Yeah. Also, I'm just gonna, do that. It was too much like Fallout 3. Like, you're in a city, block by block. I mean, there was poison clouds. And, like, it's already bad enough. You have to deal with a whole bear traps, ghosts, going circle by circle. It was nothing but a big troll, if you think about it. All you did was go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And none of the people really did anything, except for Christine. She just said, okay, I'm gonna say a word into it, and the door's gonna open. That's all your companions did for you.
Yep.
And, you had to kill your enemies twice. Like those ghost things, you'd, like, shoot them, and then all of a sudden they get back up, and you'd shoot them again, and there's no need for that.
No.
No.
It was too much.
Yeah. And the game was, like, trying to elong the game as much as possible. Like, and the radios and speakers, like, it made no sense. Like, okay, speakers and radios, that's gonna make the alarm beep a lot. Yeah. And just, like I said, elong the game. It's pointless. I mean, bear traps were also a pain in the ass. Every 5 feet, I mean, that's probably what hurt me and Ryan the most in that game.
Perhaps. Well, it's starting to look nicer as we go up the stairs. I'm not gonna worry about it.
What if it was like 10,000?
Well, then I would actually try.
I mean, like, it was like one of those 10,000 things, like, you just skip. I probably gave it a high score for what I think it was, but I gave it a 5.5. I think maybe I should have been a lot lower, but that's me. And I guess Amnesty Gaming, compared between me and Ryan, gave it a 5.75 out of 10.
Yep.
So, it's...
And then what was your favorite part of it, out of it all?
My favorite part?
Favorite part.
The end.
Yeah, that kind of was partially my favorite part too. Yeah, I mean, as far as my favorite part throughout it all, I did like even though it had stealth elements to it, I did kind of like that Dean Domino thing while you're sneaking back in between. And then another one that I liked was the Christine quest right at the end with the Vera, and that little, like, you hear the clip for the bomb falling over.
Yeah,
I mean, that was my favorite.
I like the sneaking because I like those kind of games.
Fan.
But I don't want to sound like it's a bad, horrible thing.
No, I mean the sneak worked, and it wasn't anything that would get you killed.
Yeah,
I mean, you could get past the holograms that could destroy you.
Yeah, it's not even just that. I mean, it's just the fact that the DLC itself, like the DLC, it wasn't good, it wasn't bad, it wasn't neutral, it was less than neutral. Let's just say that.
Yep.
It was. I wouldn't recommend it if you're gonna be playing it on like the highest difficulty in the world, and you're like thinking.
It'd be a struggle, especially if you were playing such like on hardcore mode. I don't know if that's activated for that DLC, but I believe it is.
Yeah, because hardcore goes with everything.
Everything, okay. Because I would say that that's very difficult, because there's not, in the beginning there's not much you really find. In the beginning you don't really have much of anything, because you're still looking for those chips and you're still looking for other stuff.
Yeah.
But once you do find it, then it makes it a little bit more easier. So with that being said, anyway, what would you say? I know you have a lot of negatives. What would you say is your completely negative, most negative thing?
The most negative? Just the fact that the thing kept repeating. You know what I mean? Like, like it was like, okay, here. It looked like the people that made it were like copy paste, copy paste, copy paste, copy paste, over and over. It wasn't necessary.
No.
Because if you play, like, you know, if you play Fallout New Vegas without the DLCs, you can totally tell it's a lot different, because you you go somewhere, like there's parts where you run into the Legion, there's parts where you run into the NCR, and it's you know what I mean? Like, the Legion will have, like, good weapons, and the NCR, it's supposed to be different. You know what I mean?
I totally agree.
It's not supposed to be the same thing.
Yep. Yeah, and another, as far as my worst thing, I would say would probably be the, like you said, the copy and paste aspect of it, where everything looks the same.
Yeah.
I mean, I know all the Fallouts really have that, and I know it's, considering it's just a DLC, that they're going to have that. But there was that. Yep. But my two biggest pet peeves outside of that was the fetch quests. I mean, the whole thing felt like a copy paste overwrite thing.
Yeah.
Because you had all three of them, and you had to go fetch quests, and then
they did nothing. Pretty much.
They did nothing. They watched you. They really didn't do much. And then the other thing that really bothered me was the fact that there wasn't much difference in animations or anything like that. There wasn't much creativity to it, and it really bothered me. I just thought the game was too long. I mean, the DLC was just too much. They didn't need to have extra fetch quests in there. If they reduced that and made the game a little bit shorter than what it was, then perhaps I would have given it maybe a little bit more than a 6.
I mean, literally, you could have done it all by yourself. Think about it,
But anyway, so that pretty much does it for Dead Money review here. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. Maybe we helped you out, whether or not you wanted to buy it, or if you even wanted to try it if you haven't played it at all. Unfortunately, it's not the greatest, but it is what it is. So
I think next we're gonna do Honest Hearts.
Yep. Yes. So the next series will be Honest Hearts. So please join us and watch that. If you haven't watched any Dead Money videos of ours, please do so. So that's Amnesty Gaming review for that. So please join us for our next review and other playlists and things like that. So thank you for watching, and please rate, subscribe, and comment. See you guys in the next video.